Hello students, welcome back to our geography chapter 2 Inside the Earth. Now before continuing with this chapter, I want to clear one doubt of yours. I received a question from one of the students in history, the medieval period. The question was, please listen carefully, the question was, how did trade led to greater interaction with the people? His question was, how did trade led to greater interaction with the people? See, trade means business. Now when you are having business with different people, you are coming in contact with those people. You are having a daily communication with them. You are having a interaction with them. So as your trade will increase, it's but obvious that the interaction or the communication between those people will also increase. Clear? Like suppose there are two persons, trade is between only two persons and the interaction is also between those two persons. Now this one person started having trade with 5 people, okay? So this one person will have interaction with all these 5 people. So therefore it is said that with the increment or with the increase in trade, it will lead to greater interaction of people. Clear? Now moving back to our geography inside our earth, in my previous video, this is video number 2, okay? In video number 1, I told you that our earth, it is divided into 3 layers. I told you all to compare our earth with the layers of onion. As onion, if we start peeling it, we will find different layers. In the same way, our earth also comprises of 3 layers. Crust, I told you, this outer layer, this one is crust. Just below crust, we will have mantle. And here we will have core. Crust we have already discussed. Mantle I am going to tell you today. Now, just beneath crust we have mantle, which is 2900 kilometer thick. Clear? I told you, as this is the earth structure, this one, the outer layer, which is relatively thin layer out of all the 3 layers, is the crust. Just below crust we have mantle, which is 2900 kilometer thick. Then this mantle, it is made up of heavy materials like iron and magnesium. This crust, this mantle, it is made up of heavy materials like iron and magnesium. The average density, it ranges between 3.5 gram to 5.5 gram per cubic centimeter. What is the average density of this mantle? 3.5 gram to 5.5 gram per cubic centimeter. The temperature here is very high comparison to crust. If you remember in my previous video, I told you, as you will go into the depth of the interior, the temperature will start increasing. Therefore, in mantle, the temperature is high in comparison to crust. Then, magma is also found in this layer only. Magma is the molten rocks, the molten material. Clear about mantle? I am telling you once again. Listen carefully. Mantle, first thing to remember is, just below the crust we have mantle, which is 2900 kilometer thick. Mantle is between crust and core. Okay. Here we have crust, and between we have core, and in middle between crust and core we have mantle. Secondly, it is made up of heavy materials like iron and magnesium. Then the average density is between 3.5 to 5.5 gram per cubic centimeter. Temperature is high here and it will be highest in the core, because I have already told you that as you go into the depth of the interior, the temperature will start increasing. Therefore, the temperature in the mantle is very high. Then your magma is also found in this layer only. Clear about mantle? Now we are done with crust. We are done with mantle. Now next I will be telling you about core. Okay, so we are done with the mantle. Now we will start with the core. I showed you a diagram of the earth representing the crust, then the mantle, and then in between we have the core. Now this core, it is below the mantle and around the center of the earth, which is very, very hot. Here it is also known as barosphere. The average radius of the core is around 3500 kilometer. Remember this, okay? The average radius of the core is about 3500 kilometer. Now this core, it is made up of some heavy metals such as iron and nickel. Okay, the core, it is made up of some heavy metals, iron and nickel. Therefore, it is also known as knife. Now why it is called knife? What could be the reason? See, this nickel, Ni, this iron, Fe. Now when you join this Ni, Fe, it forms knife. Clear? Therefore, it is also known as knife. Core, it is also known as barosphere. It is also known as knife because of the two metals that it is made up of. That is nickel and iron. Ni stands for nickel and Fe stands for iron. Clear? After this, the temperature here, it ranges between 2200 degrees Celsius to 5000 degrees Celsius. And the average density is between 5 gram to 13 gram. Clear? Let's do it once again. Core, first of all, core lies below the mantle and around the center of the earth. Here, it is also known as barosphere and the average radius is about 3500 kilometer. Clear? Also known as barosphere. Average radius 3500 kilometer. It is made up of which heavy metals? Iron and nickel. Now therefore, it also got a name knife. Knife means Ni for nickel, Fi for iron. When we combine these two, we get knife. Clear till here? Afterwards, the temperature, it ranges between 2200 degrees Celsius to 5000 degrees Celsius. Clear? And the density is between 5 gram to 13 gram. Clear? So we are done with crust, we are done with mantle, and we are done with core. Now, to explain you just in a better way, if you get confused about crust, mantle and core, compare it with the boiled egg. You all have seen a boiled egg, right? Now, when we boil that egg, the layer which we peel off, okay, that is called crust, which is the thin layer. You are getting what I am saying? See, I am saying you to compare the earth structure with a boiled egg. Now, once the egg is boiled, the layer which we peel off, that is called the earth's crust, which I told you that it is the thin layer out of all the three layers. Now, inside the white thick part, when you peel off the egg, you get that white thick part which we eat. Compare that white thick part to the mantle. Clear? Now, inside, the small at the center, the yolk, the egg yolk, the yellow part, that is called the core. Now, I don't think you will forget is the crust. Inside the white layer is called the mantle, and around the center we have the core. Clear? Crust, mantle and core. Very good. Okay, so now let us just have a quick comparison of crust, mantle and core. It will be a sort of revision what we have done till now. So please listen carefully. Crust, you all know, it is the outermost layer, and we have the outermost layer. It is also divided into two, the continental crust and the oceanic crust. Mantle, it is beneath the crust, and the core we have around the center of the earth. Clear? Clear till here? Secondly, this crust, it is made up of silica and alumina. That is why it is also known as Cl. Okay? Now, mantle, it is made up of iron and magnesium. That is why it is also known as Sema. Core, it is made up of nickel and iron. That is why it is known as NiFe. Again, clear this point? Crust, it is made up of silica and aluminium. Mantle, it is made up of iron and it is made up of silica and magnesium. Okay, mantle, it is made up of silica and magnesium. Therefore, it is known as Sema. Core, it is made up of iron and nickel. That is why it is known as knife. Clear? Then here the average density is around 3.0 gram per cubic centimeter. The average density of the mantle, it ranges between 3.5 gram to 5.5 gram per cubic centimeter. Then we have core, whose average density ranges between 5 to 13 gram per cubic centimeter. Clear? Now I would like to tell you about continental crust and oceanic crust. I forgot to tell you about what is continental crust and what is oceanic crust. See, I'll explain you with this diagram. It's very easy, you'll understand it. So please pay attention, okay? Suppose this is the land that where we are standing, okay? Here we have full water. This is the ocean where it is full of water. Now, this is our continental crust. Okay, the place, the land where we are standing, that is a continental crust, and this is the land that is below the ocean. Okay, it does not mean that ocean is only full of water. Somewhere you will find the land, as it will go down and down. Somewhere it will be the land which is under that water. That is called oceanic crust. Clear? It's very easy. The land here where we are standing, that is called continental crust, and the land that is under the water, under the ocean, that is called oceanic crust. Clear? I'm sure this is very easy. All of you must have understood. Okay? Now I'm going to give you a short assignment that you have to do it in your notebook. So please write down that assignment now. So your assignment for the day, that is assignment number 2. What you have to do is, you have written the chapter name before. You have done your assignment number 1. Now from the same page, Write down at the bottom assignment number 2. Write down the first question. Write any 3 characteristics of mantle. I explained you about mantle. I told you about its different features, different characteristics, like what it is also known as, where does it lie, what is the average density, what it is also known as, all these things, okay? So you have to write only 3 out of those. Please refer to this video and do this answer. Second question, differentiate between crust, mantle and core in terms of their average density. In this, you don't have to write all the points of differentiation between these 3. You only have to differentiate them in terms of their average density. Like you will write crust, average density. You will write mantle, what is its average density, and you will write core and you will write the average density. Clear? I hope I have made myself very clear. You have understood? Okay, very good then. So here we have completed our structure, that is the layers of the earth. In my next video, we'll be starting about rocks and minerals. Clear? Till then, all of you, please take care, be safe and stay at home. Bye.